Why are spring levels standardized? The reality is that the majority of our clients are going to fit within an average body mass range. And I've got a graph here to show you. So if we said this is an average class and that these lines here represent body mass, you could say that in an average class, the vast majority of your clients are going to be in the average body mass range. Now, the average body mass range is what our class spring levels are designed to cater to. So the reason why a medium spring would be level 1 for a standing split is the vast majority of our people are going to have a mass, which means that the medium is the optimal starting position to load the inner thighs with the most amount of support. So whenever you see spring levels, know they're designed for the average body mass range. And that's why it's effective to use them in a group class, because we know the most people are going to be in that average range. However, for us to be effective as instructors, we have to understand, what would it be like to be someone else? What would it be like if someone weighed significantly more? So let's run that example again, but from their point of view. Let's do the standing split with a medium spring tension. That was the level 1, the achievable option. But because we're using body weight as the load and they've got significantly more body weight, that means now that that spring won't support them the same. It would feel more like a light or no spring depending on how much they weigh. So their experience is relative to their body mass. If you have people that are really, really much heavier than the average, they're going to need more support to have the same experience. Now, on the other side of that, if you've got people that weigh significantly less on the medium spring tension for the standing split, remember our goal is to work the inner thighs, but if they weigh significantly less, that medium might actually feel like a heavy spring. They might actually be working their glutes instead of the inner thighs. So for us to be effective as instructors, we have to guarantee every single client, regardless of their body, is working the same muscle group at the same level of intensity in an exercise. We have to be able to adapt the spring tension to make sure they get the experience we intended. Because if I'm teaching this exercise and I say, hey everybody, in this exercise we're working the inner thighs, but we've got some people working the glutes and some people working the inner thighs at an advanced level, I'm not being consistent with the experience. I need to make sure everybody gets the same experience. So to answer what would we do, in this situation, I'd change the spring from a medium to a light. This would enable the people with less mass to work the same muscle group. For people with more mass, I would maybe add a light spring to the medium. So you've got medium and light, which would give them more support. Now, depending on how much mass they have, it would just depend on how much spring tension I add. Because the main thing is I want them to feel supported in a full range of motion to get the benefit from this exercise. So the key is, can we guarantee every client is getting the same experience regardless of their body?